Alright, YouTube, it is 6/4/14. Sorry, I haven't done any videos. I've been insanely busy with many projects. As you can see here, I have worked on the Sears some, mainly lately. There was a long period there where there was just too much going on. Also simultaneously working on an old bush hog and scrape blade and rear three-point hitch, and actually the tractor itself of a 1979 John Deere 950 that I inherited from my wife's dad when he passed away. So I'll be doing some future videos on that, and I plan on doing a food plot with it for deer hunting this year, so I'll try and capture some of that too. But for now, let's get back to the Sears. You can see here I've started painting. I've been painting, but I've got the main section of the frame there. Finished that up today. The running board's there. And if you've watched Fearless Front's videos, you can guess what's in that big box. Yep, my lawn top diesel engine, fresh from eBay. I actually had it for about a month now. I haven't even opened the box. I don't have a place to put it, and I'm definitely not in a position to put it on anything, as you can see. So it'll be safe and sound in there until I'm ready. Painting some of the other parts. I've got the hubs over there, not quite finished with. Transaxle linkage. Some of the other parts. I've got the spindles there and the clutch control shaft. Transaxle still sitting here. See the input pulley there on top. That'll be one of the last things I dive into. Got to watch Fearless Front's differential locking video again and weld that rear differential up, change all the fluids and stuff in there. So I want a solid block of time one day where I can do that before I dive into that thing. So eventually here. Oh, what is that nasty mess? That, folks, is a very used batch of Evaporust, which is a product you can buy at Tractor Supply. And I use these red solo cups here and took all the small pieces, nuts and bolts and washers and all those things get rusty and shitty since the 1970s, and put them in these cups with some of this rust remover and let them soak overnight. And that is all the rust remover that was left. And when it comes out, it's out of the bottle when it's new. It looks about like apple juice, so that'll tell you how much nastiness it took off all the bolts. All the bolts are over here on the table with all the small parts. See the new pulley there. Got to weld that together. It'll be a 6-inch pulley. The new steering drag link here. You see all the bolts are labeled in their own individual bags, and keep them separate and figure out how to put this thing back together. So everything's all cleaned up now and ready for reassembly when I get that far. See some of the, there's the tires and the rims sitting there. The fenders. The new pan seat I'm doing. The nose cones here, mine are going to require some fixing. It's broke at the bottom like all of these Sears nose cones for the hood are. And it looks like someone has fixed it before, but they didn't use thick enough metal, so I don't know if you guys can see this. It's bowed right here. So I'm going to have to unscrew that and put on a thicker piece of steel to keep that from happening again, and to let my hood sit straight. See some of the other small pieces, front axle, transport, this is one of the steering gears, the side plates go behind the engine there on the sides, the rear support bar. I think I'm going to leave that on. It's should act like a pretty good frame support, and I could probably do a skid plate of some kind like Fearless Front did with his. Got the battery mount and shield, and I redid the knobs for the transaxle, the shifter and the high and low, in black bed liner. So those will be nice and grippy, and The ones that were on my tractor were bright red, so that definitely wouldn't have looked right. See the various grill pieces and the taillight bracket. It's the clutch frame assembly and their steering bracket there. Here's the brake, which I've got plenty of brake material left. It was split, so what I took is some JB Weld, because this piece was sort of flapping off, and welded it back down onto the metal band. And so far it looks like it's going to hold pretty well, which is good, and that way I won't have to buy a new one of those. But I found on Sears Part Direct you can actually get those new. They're like $45 though, so if this one doesn't work out, I'll just have to cough up the money. So see over there is the hood and front section of frame. Up on the four-wheeler here, it's the bottom, I don't know, cowling or nose cone, whatever you want to call it. And you can see it's the OD green, but I did a tan, army tan camouflage color insert here, and then it'll have the black grill inside. I think it should look pretty sharp. If you can see up there on the shelf, the plastic dash piece will actually be done up the same way. You see it up there, it's got a tan piece for the dash and the rest is green, so that should end up looking pretty sharp. Alright, I think last but not least, I should probably tell you guys, I am a complete newbie for welding, as you can see. So this project has been and will be extra challenging for me because I'm learning to weld as I'm doing this project, and it's going to require several pieces of welding, most importantly the differential and the transaxle, which is nothing to mess around with. I said I've also got to weld together that new pulley over there. If you watch Fearless Front's videos, you've seen that about the only thing he's broke on the Sears is the input pulley for the transaxle. And as I'm looking at mine, I see that it appears only, I don't know if you guys can see that, it appears that it's only brazed on. It doesn't look like it's welded, which would make sense why this hub piece came off this pulley here. There's no real welding of any kind that I can see. So what I'm going to do is put a bead of weld around this hub onto the pulley before I put it on, and that way it should be nice and strong and shouldn't break. Because let's face it, you know, these diesel engines are putting quite a bit of horsepower going to something that's just brazed together. So, but yeah, I've got my new Hobart 140 MIG welder here, although I'll probably just be doing flux core to start with. But the nice thing about the 140, it is completely set up and ready for MIG welding. All you need is different wire and a bottle full of gas. So at some point I'll probably try that too. I've got my Auto Arc Explorer Series mask here. It had pretty good reviews, so I picked up that one. I've got a just a basic welding jacket here, some welding gloves, and just that white soapstone marker, slag chipping hammer and wire brush. See, it's a nozzle gel, tip cleaner, and another spool of 0.030 flux wire. And I believe the welder comes with one spool, so that should be enough to get me going. But anyway, that's about it for today. I don't have anything else to tell you guys. I'm just going to continue painting here. It's getting pretty late. It's going on, I want to say it's after midnight. So, well, it's got to be. It's 6:04. So, but I'm going to put another coat of paint on all these little items here I'm working on. Call it a night and get up and continue plugging away at it. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.